This is the KOSPET Tank M3 Ultra, and to be totally honest guys, I probably would have side-looked this thing as just another unfamiliar smartwatch from an equally unfamiliar Chinese brand if it weren't for the Ultra moniker, because when you slap Ultra after something called a tank, it just means I get to do stuff like this. The KOSPET Tank M3 Ultra retails for $150 and comes in black or silver colorways. That's a difference in color in the bezel surround. It's a stainless steel body with a set of silicone bands. Now, for $10 more, and I think this is a much better deal guys, it nets you the steel premium version, which on top of the silicone band, you also get this, a steel link band, which you can add or remove different pieces based on your size with the special included tool. Now, the display is a 1.96 inch AMOLED. Let me try to focus on this one. Come on, little Panasonic, you can do it. There you go. 1.96 inch AMOLED with 331 ppi and Gorilla Glass protection. Dual band GPS on board with 6 satellite positioning support as well. 5 ATM and IP69K water dust resistance, so you can take it swimming in the pool as well as quite a bit in the ocean as well. I'm not suggesting for diving this one. Always respect the 5 ATM certification right there. Now it has an Actions Technology ATS 3085L processor. For what it's worth, we'll talk about performance later on. On board there are a few sensors. There's PPG, there's a G sensor, compass, altimeter, barometer, and the weight on this thing is 76 grams. Now battery life, during my time with it, I average around 4.5 days with always on display, heart rate interval, sleep tracking on, and one hour GPS activity tracking per day, which is pretty darn good. A closer look at the watch itself guys, and I'll tell you what, in real life especially, this thing feels really nice in your hands. It's well balanced, the materials are spot on, the build quality, I don't know how they did it. I know KOSPET has been around for a while, but I consider them like an unknown, especially in the US. And I would say this, especially for adventure watches with Ultra monikers, and especially ones from China, they tend to overdo it. I would say even Apple and Samsung to a point, like they're so bulky and just kind of hideous. This thing is compact and svelte for what it is. I mean, it is a little bit thick as you can see right here. And you can see also the screen protection right there. There's a raised bump right there to protect the display and the buttons there. But it looks pretty decent on my wrist. And, you know, I mean, if you have larger wrist, this would be perfect. And you can swap out the bands for slightly more formal events, I would say. 4 buttons all around. And these are fake, by the way. These are just to protect the buttons, I would say, and it's a nice little design element. And I love the little side bezel right there. Oh my goodness. The AMOLED display is bright and punchy, and I was surprised how well it stood up against outdoor sunlight. It is quite visible. It's not the best in the industry like Samsung and Apple's, but it is very competent. Now this is 3/3 brightness and maximum, and this is minimum. So if you want to see how it looks like in a dark or darker environments, this is minimum. Now it doesn't have a light sensor, so you know, whenever you go to different lighting situations and you need to change it, obviously it's a quick swipe down into the settings and you just tap this and it's a quick tap away. But you know, I wish this came with a sensor. This is one of the rare MIL certified Ultra watches that's priced and spec'd right, that, you know, does come with some compromises of course, which I'll touch on throughout this video, but is otherwise quite impressive value for money guys. Surprisingly good AMOLED display as we saw earlier, check. Dual band GPS, check. IP69K rating, check. SWORF scores, check. HRV and menstrual cycle tracking, check. Quality materials, check. Which, wouldn't you know it, is the perfect segue to the build and materials of the main body is the main star here in my opinion. It's as tough as any Ultra has any right to be, I guess. Like I've whacked and I froze, I've rolled over this bloody thing just to see if I could prove KOSPET wrong, you know, but nope, not a single bloody time. The M3 definitely takes a licking and keeps on ticking. Sorry, Timex.
Timex, it takes a licking and keeps on ticking.
Possibly the only kink in the literal armor on this thing is that the glass isn't sapphire, which would have leveled up the toughness quotient quite a bit. I'm sure it was considered like in the early stages of development, but sapphire glass would have driven up the cost. So, you know, the strap also has its good and bad. It's one of the stretchiest watch bands I've ever used or had around my wrist, which meant I didn't have to readjust it as often whenever my wrist swelled from working out or something. But on the flip side, the outermost band keeper loop has this annoying habit of sliding off the strap overhang no matter how far in I position it. I'll tell you what, I've been burnt by countless unknown watch brands before, so I was kind of sort of not holding my breath when I first powered this thing on. And to my surprise, the depth of its capabilities with its sensor package is much deeper than it has any right to be. Again, for the price, it connects with Google Fit and Apple Health, no problem whatsoever based on whatever phone you use, while average accuracy ranges from good to above average. Heart rate and sleep tracking are on point, the latter beating out even the Amazfit Bip 6 and Cheetah. Satellite lock speed is good at 9-second-ish, even on cloudy days, which is pretty darn good, I would say. But tracking between buildings and under tree cover struggles intermittently despite the supposed dual band GPS. Steps are about 60 to 80 over the baseline, which is close enough to the industry accepted margin of error for smartwatches, so I give it a pass here. The weakest metric has got to be calories burnt. The M3 can be wildly optimistic by as much as, get this, 200%. So something to be aware of if that piece of data is important to you. Now, TLDR, stick with core health monitoring and sports like running, biking, lap swimming, light hiking, elliptical, and this ought to serve you well. Sure, the watch supports tracking for more than 170 activities, but most of the time, they just monitor the basics like heart rate, steps, and calories. There's no like guided workouts or sports-specific metrics like being able to set and track all triathlon disciplines or set rock climbing route difficulty, etc., etc. And also, I didn't realize standing still and riding on an elevator counts as sports. Probably the biggest tell of the M3 Ultra's budget roots lies in the user experience. From the display and the app to connectivity and hardware optimization, this watch's UX has the potential to drive you nuts if you're sensitive to that kind of thing. Now, don't get me wrong, for the most part, using the watch and the app are pretty smooth affairs. The RTOS-based menus, the settings, the notification cards are easy on the eyes as well as easy to get the hang of and customize and operate from the get-go. However, once you spend a little bit more time with it, swipe gestures are sluggish, you'll notice, and while at times the system stutters when you swipe too fast between screens. And more annoyingly so is when the watch would randomly disconnect from the phone. And if you didn't realize it, like you go through your day and everything, you could miss things like notifications and up-to-date weather. Hand in hand with tracking performance is battery life. A watch is basically useless if it doesn't have the juice to last through, say, a long distance race, right? And this is where the M3 Ultra hits its mark every single time. It's not often that you see manufacturer claims on the website being bang on with real world use. If there was anything negative, I would say the magnetic charging cable will be the culprit. It's easy to jostle loose if you're not careful, and I don't care for this thing at all. It kind of reminds me of the charger that the TicWatch Pro 3 Ultra had that I loathed, but worse in this case. I wish KOSPET included the M3 charging pucks that they sell on their website with the watch itself. That would have been perfect. So is the KOSPET Tank M3 Ultra gonna give the likes of Samsung and Apple Ultra watches a scare anytime soon? I don't think so, but then again, those flagships are scores more expensive and have their own unique feature sets and all that. The M3 Ultra brings a lot of value to the table though, although you have to remember that the watch at its core is a basic smartwatch that's pretty darn good at its job, wrapped in a super tough, yet I would dare say attractive shell. And unlike Apple and Samsung, the square M3 Ultra is also available in a round version in the form of the T3 Ultra 2 if you're so inclined. Well, that was my take on the Tank M3 Ultra. I hope you found this useful in some form or another. Thanks for being here, guys. You could have been doing something else for all we know, like spending quality time with your children, your wife, or your mother-in-law, but you're here wasting your time away. So thanks for your support. Thanks to KOSPET too for sending this to me for an honest opinion on the watch. And remember to do something loving and kind for somebody in this world, guys, because guess what? If you haven't seen the news lately or looked outside the window, for crying out loud, the world needs it more than ever, and it starts with you. I love you all very much. Peace out and God bless.